Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take you on a brief journey through the evolution of experimentation in chemistry, a transformative process that has shaped our understanding of the natural world. Here are 10 key points to grasp the significance of this development. In the realm of scientific investigation, moving from casual observation to a more organized method was crucial. Rather than relying on speculation or random testing, early chemists began to establish clear procedures that allowed them to focus on specific phenomena. Each experiment was designed with intentionality, ensuring that every step was well thought out and executed in a controlled environment. This approach emphasized the importance of creating conditions where factors could be carefully measured and adjusted to understand their effects better. But it was not enough to simply note an outcome. A more deliberate effort was made to identify the causes behind it. Through this process, chemists could consistently replicate results and refine their techniques, contributing to a clearer, more dependable body of knowledge. The systematic method provided a framework where experimentation was not just a one-off attempt, but a continuous cycle of testing, analyzing, and refining, leading to ever more accurate conclusions about the nature of matter and its transformations. The scientific method is a fundamental process that underpins all scientific inquiry, providing a structured approach to solving problems and discovering new knowledge. In chemistry, its application has been pivotal in transforming the field from one based on philosophical speculation to one rooted in empirical, evidence-based research. It provides a logical framework for investigating phenomena, testing hypotheses, and validating or refuting theories, ensuring that conclusions are grounded in reliable, repeatable observations. At its core, the scientific method involves several key steps, each designed to help researchers systematically explore questions about the natural world. The first step typically begins with observation, where a phenomenon or a problem is identified. This could be anything from noticing an unusual chemical reaction to recognizing a pattern in natural processes that hasn't been fully explained. The observation sparks curiosity, prompting a deeper investigation into why or how something occurs. Once a question is raised, the next step is to formulate a hypothesis. A hypothesis is an educated guess or a proposed explanation based on existing knowledge. It is testable and falsifiable, meaning it can be proven wrong through experimentation. The hypothesis serves as the foundation for designing an experiment, as it offers a prediction about the outcome. For example, if a chemist notices that two substances react differently under specific conditions, the hypothesis might predict the nature of that reaction based on chemical properties or known principles. Following the hypothesis, the researcher must design an experiment that allows for the controlled testing of the hypothesis. Experiments are carefully structured to isolate variables that could influence the outcome, such as temperature, pressure, or concentration. This step is crucial for ensuring that results are not skewed by extraneous factors. A well-designed experiment includes the identification of a control group, if applicable, and a variable group that will undergo the treatment or condition being tested. The experiment should be repeatable, ensuring that different researchers can follow the same steps and reach similar results. Data collection is the next critical step. The results of the experiment must be documented precisely and in a manner that can be analyzed quantitatively or qualitatively. This could include measurements, observations, or calculations that are then interpreted to determine whether the hypothesis was supported or contradicted. Accurate data collection is essential, as even small errors can lead to misleading conclusions. This is why repeat trials and peer verification are integral to the process, ensuring reliability and consistency in findings. Once data has been collected, the next step is analysis. The researcher examines the data to identify patterns, correlations, or anomalies that could explain the observed phenomena. Statistical tools and models may be used to analyze data rigorously. If the results support the hypothesis, the researcher can begin to draw conclusions. However, if the data contradicts the hypothesis, it is important not to discard the experiment, but to adjust the hypothesis or methodology and retest. In either case, the findings contribute to the overall body of knowledge. Finally, the results must be communicated. This is where the findings are shared with the scientific community through papers, presentations, or discussions. Sharing results allows others to review, critique, and replicate the work. It also provides an opportunity for others to build upon the findings, proposing new hypotheses or refining existing theories. Peer review is an essential part of this step, as it helps ensure the validity and credibility of the research. Through these steps, the scientific method provides a systematic approach for gaining knowledge that is objective, logical, and evidence-based. It allows researchers to test ideas rigorously and arrive at conclusions that stand up to scrutiny. In chemistry, this process has led to groundbreaking discoveries about the nature of matter, the behavior of molecules, and the principles governing chemical reactions. The scientific method is a continuous cycle of questioning, testing, and refining, ensuring that our understanding of the natural world evolves over time in an increasingly precise and accurate manner. Quantitative measurements in chemistry refer to the precise and numerical evaluation of physical and chemical properties of substances. The introduction of such measurements has been crucial in transforming chemistry from a largely observational science into a discipline rooted in exactitude and reproducibility. Quantitative analysis allows chemists to measure and express the quantities of matter involved in chemical reactions, providing deeper insights into the behavior of substances and enabling accurate predictions. Before the widespread use of quantitative methods, much of chemistry relied on qualitative observations, which were often vague and subjective. Chemists could identify a substance by its color, odor, or texture, but they had limited means of expressing how much of a substance was present or how it would react under different conditions. This reliance on qualitative assessment meant that understanding chemical processes was often imprecise, and conclusions were sometimes drawn based on incomplete or inconsistent data. The shift toward quantitative measurements marked the beginning of a new era in chemistry. By introducing precise instruments and methods for measuring mass, volume, temperature, and other variables, chemists could begin to capture numerical data that could be analyzed, compared, and reproduced. This allowed for a much clearer and more reliable understanding of chemical phenomena. For example, measuring the mass of a substance before and after a reaction could reveal how much of it was consumed or transformed, providing direct evidence of how chemical processes occur at a molecular level. One of the key aspects of quantitative measurements is the ability to express relationships between substances in numerical terms. Chemists can use stoichiometry to calculate the amount of reactants required to produce a certain quantity of product, or to determine the concentration of a solution. For instance, in a titration experiment, a chemist can measure the volume of a reagent required to completely react with a known quantity of a substance. This not only provides a direct measurement of how much of the substance is present, but also allows for the calculation of its concentration, or molarity, which is crucial for understanding its reactivity and behavior in different chemical contexts. The use of accurate instruments has also been a defining feature of quantitative measurements. Precision tools such as analytical balances, barrettes, and spectrophotometers allow chemists to measure with remarkable accuracy. For example, an analytical balance can measure mass to the thousandth of a gram, enabling the precise determination of how much of a substance is present in a sample. Likewise, spectrophotometry measures the absorption of light by a solution, and through this method, chemists can quantify the concentration of solutes in a mixture by comparing the absorption at specific wavelengths of light. In addition to providing accurate measurements, quantitative analysis has a significant role in standardizing chemical procedures. By relying on specific units of measurement such as grams, liters, and moles, chemists are able to establish uniformity in their work, making it easier to replicate experiments, compare results across studies, and collaborate internationally. The use of internationally recognized standards, such as the International System of Units, SI, ensures that measurements are consistent and comparable across different research labs and industries. Quantitative measurements also play an essential role in quality control and industrial applications. In fields such as pharmaceuticals, environmental science, and food chemistry, ensuring the precise composition of materials is critical. For example, in pharmaceutical production, the accurate measurement of active ingredients in drug formulations is essential for ensuring that products are both effective and safe for consumption. In environmental science, the quantification of pollutants in air, water, or soil allows for the monitoring of environmental health and the enforcement of regulatory standards. Perhaps one of the most powerful aspects of quantitative measurements in chemistry is that they allow for predictive modeling. Through the careful measurement and analysis of data, chemists can identify patterns and relationships that allow them to predict the outcomes of future experiments. This predictive power is essential for advancements in materials science, medicine, and energy production, where chemists can model new compounds, forecast chemical reactions, and develop new technologies. Ultimately, quantitative measurements provide the precision and objectivity required to understand the fundamental principles of chemistry. They form the foundation for rigorous scientific inquiry, allowing chemists to explore the intricacies of matter with accuracy and clarity. By enabling precise calculations, reproducibility, and the ability to make predictions, quantitative measurements have transformed chemistry from an art into a highly systematic and reliable science, advancing not only the field itself, but also benefiting society in countless practical ways. Accurate observation is a critical aspect of scientific inquiry, particularly in the field of chemistry, where even the slightest variation in a chemical reaction or the behavior of a substance can yield important information. In chemistry, observation refers to the process of gathering data through the senses or with the aid of instruments. Accurate observation goes beyond simply noting what happens. It involves detailed, precise, and objective recording of events that occur during experiments. It allows chemists to form reliable conclusions, recognize patterns, and identify key variables that influence chemical reactions and processes. The importance of accurate observation in chemistry cannot be overstated. In the early days of chemistry, before the widespread use of sophisticated instruments, observations were often based on visual cues, such as changes in color, texture, or the formation of bubbles or precipitates. While these visual indicators could provide valuable insights, they were sometimes subjective and could vary from person to person. This is where the importance of training and expertise comes in. A trained chemist knows how to look for subtle changes and interpret them correctly. For instance, the formation of gas bubbles in a liquid during a reaction may indicate a chemical change, but only an accurate observer can distinguish between a gas that is a product of a reaction and one that is simply escaping from the solution due to external factors. As the field of chemistry evolved, the development of instruments like thermometers, spectrometers, and pH meters allowed chemists to make more precise observations, enabling them to measure temperature, light absorption, and acidity with greater accuracy. These tools provided a means to quantify what had once been qualitative observations. For example, measuring the temperature of a solution during a reaction can provide critical insights into whether the reaction is exothermic, releasing heat, or endothermic, absorbing heat, while spectrometry can reveal information about the chemical composition of a substance by analyzing how it absorbs or emits light at specific wavelengths. Accurate observation also plays a key role in identifying unexpected results or anomalies. In chemistry, not all experiments proceed exactly as expected. Sometimes, the results may surprise even the most seasoned scientists. Anomalies in the data, such as a reaction taking longer than anticipated or a product forming that was not predicted by the initial hypothesis, can lead to groundbreaking discoveries. For example, the observation of an unexpected color change in a reaction could prompt chemists to investigate further, potentially leading to the identification of new compounds or the discovery of new reaction mechanisms. The ability to carefully document and describe observations is equally important. An observation is only valuable if it is recorded accurately and comprehensively. Chemists must use clear and precise language when documenting the results of their experiments, ensuring that others can interpret the data correctly. Inconsistent or vague descriptions could lead to confusion or misinterpretation of the data. The use of proper terminology, the inclusion of quantitative data, such as measurements of time, temperature, or volume, and even the noting of environmental conditions, such as humidity or light levels, are all part of ensuring that observations are as accurate and useful as possible. Furthermore, repeated observations are often necessary to verify the consistency of results. For an observation to be truly reliable, it must be repeatable under the same conditions. This is why experiments are often conducted multiple times to ensure that results are not the result of random fluctuations or external factors. Accurate observations help confirm that results are consistent and reproducible, which is a hallmark of solid scientific research. Another crucial element of accurate observation is the ability to distinguish between observation and interpretation. Observations are the raw data, what is seen, heard, or measured, whereas interpretation involves making sense of that data and drawing conclusions from it. A chemist must ensure that their observations are free from bias or assumptions that could color their interpretation. It is important to remain objective, as preconceived notions or expectations can influence how one perceives the results. The process of scientific inquiry encourages skepticism and careful consideration of all possible explanations, so the observer must resist the temptation to see what they expect and focus instead on the actual data. In summary, accurate observation is the foundation upon which all scientific inquiry is built, especially in the field of chemistry. Without careful, detailed, and objective observation, chemists would have little basis for forming hypotheses, designing experiments, or drawing conclusions. The ability to observe precisely, aided by both the senses and scientific instruments, allows chemists to detect patterns, test ideas, and advance our understanding of the natural world. This attention to detail and rigor in recording data is essential not only for verifying scientific theories, but also for making new discoveries that drive the progress of the field. Reproducibility is one of the core principles of scientific experimentation, and it is particularly vital in the field of chemistry. The ability to reproduce experimental results consistently is what allows scientific knowledge to be trusted, verified, and built upon. If an experiment or observation cannot be replicated by others, its validity comes into question. Reproducibility ensures that findings are not the result of chance or error, but instead reflect consistent, reliable, and generalizable patterns in nature. In chemistry, the emphasis on reproducibility has led to a more precise understanding of chemical reactions, laws, and principles, and it is a key aspect that distinguishes credible scientific work from mere anecdotal evidence. The fundamental idea behind reproducibility is that if a chemical experiment is conducted under the same conditions, using the same materials and procedures, the results should be the same or very similar each time. This is essential not only for confirming the accuracy of findings, but also for ensuring that the experimental methods are sound and effective. For instance, if one chemist discovers a new reaction pathway for a specific compound, other chemists should be able to repeat the experiment, following the same procedure, and obtain the same result. If the result is consistently reproducible, the findings become more credible and can be added to the broader scientific knowledge base. The reproducibility of experiments relies heavily on the rigorous documentation of experimental conditions and procedures. This includes not just the chemical substances involved, but also factors like temperature, pressure, time, and equipment used. Without clear and comprehensive documentation, it would be difficult, if not impossible, for others to replicate the conditions accurately. For example, an experiment that involves a chemical reaction at a specific temperature may yield vastly different results if conducted at a different temperature, or with slightly altered reactant concentrations. By recording the precise conditions under which the experiment was performed, chemists ensure that the experiment can be repeated under the same variables, leading to consistent results. In the past, a lack of reproducibility sometimes hindered scientific progress. There have been instances where a particular chemical reaction was initially reported with exciting results, but when other researchers attempted to replicate the findings, they were unable to achieve the same outcome. This would lead to skepticism and doubts about the original experiment. In some cases, the discrepancy arose from the original researcher's failure to document certain variables or the influence of uncontrolled factors. This is why scientific communities place such a strong emphasis on methodology transparency, ensuring that experiments are not only reproducible, but that others can understand and apply the same methods in their own work. Reproducibility is not just about repeating an experiment once. It also involves statistical consistency across many trials. For an experiment to be truly reproducible, results should align within an acceptable margin of error when conducted multiple times. In chemistry, this often means performing experiments in triplicate or more. To account for any inherent variability, if an experiment is only reproducible in 1 out of 5 attempts, the findings would be considered unreliable. This concept of statistical reproducibility is important when dealing with measurements that may naturally vary due to slight environmental changes or minor errors in technique. In addition to its role in verifying scientific results, reproducibility has practical applications in areas like quality control and industrial chemistry. In industrial settings, chemical processes must be reproducible to ensure consistent product quality. For example, in the pharmaceutical industry, the synthesis of a drug must be reproducible across different batches to guarantee that the drug's dosage, effectiveness, and safety remain constant. Similarly, in environmental science, tests measuring the concentration of pollutants must yield consistent results over time to ensure accurate monitoring and compliance with regulations. Reproducibility also plays a critical role in collaboration and scientific progress. When research is reproducible, it becomes a shared resource for scientists all over the world. It allows others to build upon existing work, refining experiments, adding new variables, or even challenging previous conclusions. This ongoing cycle of testing, validating, and refining experiments helps the scientific community to push the boundaries of knowledge. Moreover, the practice of reproducibility is central to the peer review process. Before research findings are published in scientific journals, they must undergo peer review, where other scientists in the field attempt to replicate the results and assess the methodology used. This process ensures that only reliable and reproducible results are shared with the broader scientific community. It serves as a safeguard against misleading or erroneous conclusions that could otherwise misguide future research or applications. The emphasis on reproducibility has driven the development of better laboratory techniques, more precise instrumentation, and improved methods for documenting and reporting experimental results. As a result, reproducibility has contributed significantly to the rigor of modern scientific research, particularly in chemistry. It allows scientists to develop a stronger, more accurate understanding of the natural world while providing a foundation upon which future discoveries can be made. Scientific collaboration is a vital aspect of modern chemistry, as it fosters the exchange of ideas, expertise, and resources, driving the field toward new discoveries and innovations. Collaboration between chemists, whether within a single laboratory or across international borders, is essential for advancing knowledge and solving complex problems that no individual or group could tackle alone. One of the primary benefits of scientific collaboration is the sharing of knowledge and skills. Different researchers bring unique perspectives, methodologies, and specialized knowledge to a project. For example, one chemist might have expertise in analytical techniques, while another specializes in organic synthesis. By combining these skills, researchers can approach a problem from multiple angles, often leading to more comprehensive solutions. Collaborations also allow for the integration of diverse experimental techniques, such as combining computational modeling with hands-on lab work, which can produce more accurate and robust results. Moreover, scientific collaboration can significantly enhance resource accessibility. Laboratories often require expensive equipment, specialized instruments, and access to rare chemicals or materials. Collaborating with other institutions or researchers allows teams to pool resources, making it easier to access cutting-edge technology or conduct experiments that would otherwise be beyond the scope of a single research group. This is particularly important in large-scale projects such as drug development, environmental monitoring, or materials science, where expensive resources must be shared to achieve significant breakthroughs. Collaboration also accelerates the pace of scientific progress by enabling faster problem solving. With multiple researchers working together, complex challenges can be addressed more quickly. Furthermore, scientists can validate each other's work, ensuring more reliable results and reducing the likelihood of errors. This peer interaction encourages the rapid exchange of ideas and often leads to the development of new hypotheses or techniques that might not have emerged from solitary work. In short, scientific collaboration in chemistry is essential for fostering innovation, sharing expertise, and solving global challenges, resulting in a more dynamic and interconnected scientific community. The introduction of instruments in chemistry marked a transformative period in the field, enabling chemists to observe, measure, and manipulate substances with unparalleled precision. Before the advent of scientific instruments, much of chemistry relied on qualitative observations made through the senses, such as color changes, smell, or texture. These subjective methods, while useful, were limited in their ability to provide detailed, quantifiable data. The development and integration of instruments allowed for more accurate and reproducible results, significantly advancing the understanding of chemical processes and phenomena. Instruments in chemistry can be broadly categorized into those that measure physical properties like mass, volume, and temperature, and those that analyze chemical composition and reactions. Each category has its own significance and role in the laboratory, helping chemists to conduct experiments with greater control and specificity. One of the earliest and most fundamental instruments introduced was the balance, the analytical balance. Capable of measuring mass to the highest degree of accuracy, was revolutionary for chemists. It allowed them to weigh substances with precision, providing a solid foundation for quantitative experiments. With accurate mass measurements, chemists could calculate the exact amounts of reactants in a chemical reaction, determine reaction yields, and quantify chemical compounds. Another key development was the volumetric equipment, such as burettes, pipettes, and flasks, used to measure liquids with great accuracy. These tools allowed chemists to perform precise titrations, determine the concentration of solutions, and ensure that exact proportions of chemicals were used in experiments, further enhancing the reliability and reproducibility of results. The advent of spectroscopy was another game changer. Spectroscopic techniques such as UVV spectroscopy, infrared IR spectroscopy, and nuclear magnetic resonance (NMR) spectroscopy enabled chemists to examine the molecular structure of substances in great detail. These instruments measure the interaction of light with matter, providing information about the chemical bonds, functional groups, and molecular composition of compounds. The ability to analyze molecular structures opened the door to new fields of study, such as molecular biology, and played a crucial role in drug discovery, materials science, and environmental chemistry. Similarly, chromatography introduced powerful methods for separating and analyzing mixtures. Techniques like gas chromatography, GC, and high-performance liquid chromatography, HPLC, allow chemists to isolate individual components of complex mixtures, such as pollutants in air or water, or active ingredients in a pharmaceutical drug. These tools provide both qualitative and quantitative data and have become indispensable in both research and industrial settings. Temperature and pressure measurement instruments, such as thermometers and manometers, are also essential in chemistry. Many chemical reactions are sensitive to changes in temperature and pressure, so being able to control and measure these variables is crucial for accurate experimentation. The ability to monitor and adjust temperature in precise ways has had a major impact on fields like reaction kinetics, catalysis, and crystallization. Beyond these basic instruments, the digital era has introduced automation and computer-aided techniques. Lab-on-a-chip devices, automated titrators, and robotic systems are now used in high-throughput screening, allowing researchers to conduct hundreds or thousands of tests in a short period. These advancements have increased efficiency and allowed for the analysis of much larger datasets than would have been possible manually. The integration of these instruments into the chemistry laboratory has led to a more data-driven and accurate approach to scientific research. The precision, reliability, and repeatability of experiments have increased, leading to a deeper and more nuanced understanding of the chemical world. Instruments allow chemists to explore phenomena that were once invisible to the naked eye, making it possible to study the very structure of atoms and molecules. In addition, the use of instruments has expanded the reach of chemistry into other disciplines, such as medicine, environmental science, and materials science. Instruments allow chemists to analyze biological systems, monitor environmental pollutants, and develop new materials with tailored properties, such as polymers or nanomaterials. Overall, the introduction of instruments in chemistry has been transformative. driving scientific progress and enabling a more rigorous and detailed approach to experimentation. These tools have opened up new avenues for discovery, enhanced the reproducibility of experiments, and provided the means to conduct research with far greater precision than ever before. Through instruments, chemistry has evolved into a highly quantitative and precise science, driving innovation across numerous industries and contributing to advancements that have had profound impacts on society. Theory formation is a fundamental aspect of scientific inquiry, particularly in the field of chemistry, where it provides the conceptual framework for understanding and predicting the behavior of matter. Theories in chemistry are developed to explain observed phenomena, integrate experimental data, and propose mechanisms by which chemical processes occur. A well-constructed theory not only helps chemists make sense of existing observations, but also guides future research by predicting outcomes that can be tested experimentally. Over time, these theories evolve and become more refined as new evidence is gathered, making theory formation a dynamic and ongoing process. At the core of theory formation in chemistry is the observation of patterns and regularities in nature. An innovation observation of nature. The first step in theory development often begins with the collection of experimental data that reveal consistent relationships or behaviors. For example, early observations about gases led to the formation of the gas laws, such as Boyle's law and Charles's law, which describe how gases respond to changes in pressure and temperature. These initial empirical laws provided a foundation for a more comprehensive theory of gases, which would later evolve into the kinetic molecular theory. This theory provided a deeper explanation of gas behavior by positing that gases consist of tiny particles in constant motion and that their properties arise from molecular interactions. Once a pattern is recognized, chemists begin to form hypotheses, provisional explanations based on the available evidence. Hypotheses are testable propositions that suggest a possible mechanism or relationship between different variables. For example, a chemist might hypothesize that increasing temperature accelerates the rate of a chemical reaction. This hypothesis can then be tested through experimentation, and if it consistently holds true, it might contribute to the development of a broader theory. The process of theory formation also involves inductive and deductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning involves deriving general principles from specific observations. For instance, after observing a number of chemical reactions, a chemist might hypothesize that a certain reagent always leads to the formation of a specific product under certain conditions. As additional data is collected, this hypothesis may become a general principle or theory. Deductive reasoning, on the other hand, involves applying a general theory to predict specific outcomes. A chemist might use the principles of a given theory to predict the behavior of a new substance under a set of conditions, and then test the predictions experimentally to confirm or refute the theory's accuracy. Modeling plays a crucial role in theory formation in chemistry. Chemists use models, whether conceptual, mathematical, or computational. Models help scientists visualize and predict the behavior of molecules, reactions, and systems that cannot be directly observed due to their microscopic scale. For example, the Bohr model of the atom, which describes electrons orbiting the nucleus in quantized energy levels, was a theoretical framework that allowed scientists to explain and predict the behavior of atoms. While later refinements to atomic theory replaced the Bohr model with the more sophisticated quantum mechanical model, it served as a crucial stepping stone in the evolution of atomic theory. The strength of a theory is often judged by its predictive power, the ability to make accurate predictions about phenomena that have not yet been observed or tested. For instance, the periodic law, first formulated by Dmitri Mendeleev, was based on the observation that elements exhibited periodic trends in their properties when arranged by atomic weight. Mendeleev's theory allowed him to predict the existence and properties of undiscovered elements such as gallium and germanium. When these elements were later discovered, they fit the predicted properties, confirming the validity of the periodic law and reinforcing the broader theory of the periodic table. As new data is gathered through experimentation, theories undergo constant testing, revision, and refinement. A well-submitted theory must not only be able to explain the available data, but also withstand challenges posed by new experimental results. For example, the atomic theory of matter has evolved significantly over time, from early ideas about indivisible atoms to the current understanding of complex subatomic particles, quantum mechanics, and electron clouds. While earlier models of the atom were later replaced or refined, they contributed to the ongoing development of atomic theory. In some cases, theories may be superseded by more comprehensive or more accurate models. This is an essential aspect of scientific progress. While older theories may be replaced, they are often not discarded entirely but rather integrated into newer, more expansive frameworks. For example, classical mechanics, which describes the motion of macroscopic objects, was superseded by relativity and quantum mechanics in certain contexts. However, classical mechanics is still incredibly useful for understanding everyday phenomena at the human scale. Finally, the process of theory formation in chemistry is not isolated, but often occurs through collaboration and communication within the scientific community. Theories are subjected to rigorous peer review, tested by other researchers, and debated in scientific discourse. The collaborative nature of theory formation helps ensure that scientific progress is based on collective knowledge rather than individual assumptions or biases. In turn, the development and refinement of theories contribute to the growth of chemistry as a discipline, opening the door for new technologies, applications, and discoveries. New discoveries in chemistry continuously reshape our understanding of the natural world, leading to innovative breakthroughs that have profound implications for various fields such as medicine, environmental science, energy, and materials science. These discoveries emerge through rigorous experimentation, observation, and collaboration within the scientific community, whether in the form of new compounds, chemical reactions, or entirely new concepts. Such discoveries are critical to pushing the boundaries of what we know and fostering progress in numerous industries. One of the most significant sources of new discoveries in chemistry comes from advancements in analytical techniques. As scientists develop more precise and sophisticated instruments, they can identify previously unknown substances and investigate chemical reactions in greater detail. The invention of techniques such as mass spectrometry, nuclear magnetic resonance, NMR, spectroscopy, and high-performance liquid chromatography, HPLC, has made it possible to analyze complex mixtures, uncover new compounds, and identify trace amounts of chemicals that were previously undetectable. These tools have led to the discovery of novel molecules and the identification of their potential uses in drug development, environmental remediation, and more. A notable example of this is the discovery of new chemical elements. For example, the synthesis of elements beyond uranium, such as nihonium, moscovium, tennessine, and oganesson, has opened new areas of research in nuclear chemistry. These elements, known as super-heavy elements, are unstable and exist only for brief moments before decaying into other elements. Yet their creation has expanded our understanding of atomic structure and the forces that govern matter. Research in this area is still ongoing, and each discovery leads to a better understanding of the fundamental nature of matter and how elements interact on a subatomic level. Another exciting area of discovery involves new materials and their applications. Chemists continually search for innovative materials with unique properties that can revolutionize technology. The discovery of graphene, a single layer of carbon atoms arranged in a two-dimensional lattice, is one of the most groundbreaking material discoveries in recent years. Graphene possesses extraordinary strength, electrical conductivity, and flexibility, making it a promising candidate for a wide range of applications, from high-performance batteries to medical devices, electronics, and even advanced filtration systems. Similarly, other nanomaterials and carbon-based materials continue to offer novel solutions to problems in energy storage, environmental cleanup, and even food production. In the pharmaceutical and medical fields, new chemical discoveries often lead to the development of life-saving drugs and therapies. For instance, the discovery of penicillin in 1928 revolutionized medicine by providing an effective treatment for bacterial infections. In more recent times, immunotherapy has emerged as a groundbreaking treatment for cancer. These discoveries stem from a deep understanding of biochemistry and the ability to manipulate molecules for therapeutic purposes. Advances in drug delivery systems, where nanoparticles or other chemical carriers are used to deliver drugs more efficiently to targeted areas in the body, represent a significant leap in medical chemistry. Such discoveries hold the promise of more effective treatments with fewer side effects, ultimately transforming the way we approach healthcare. The sustainable chemistry movement is also driving a wave of new discoveries, particularly those focused on addressing environmental challenges. Chemists are working on finding new ways to reduce waste, recycle materials, and create eco-friendly products. For example, the development of bio-based plastics and green solvents aims to reduce the environmental impact of traditional petroleum-based chemicals. Additionally, researchers are discovering new methods for carbon capture and storage, CCS, to mitigate the effects of climate change by capturing carbon dioxide emissions and storing them underground or using them in chemical processes. Such innovations represent key advancements in efforts to create a more sustainable future. One area where new discoveries are particularly impactful is energy production and storage. As the world shifts toward renewable energy sources, chemistry plays a crucial role in developing more efficient ways to harness, store, and use energy. The discovery of more efficient solar cells, including organic and perovskite solar cells, is helping to make solar energy a more viable option for global energy needs. In parallel, advances in battery technology, such as the development of lithium-sulfur batteries or solid-state batteries, promise to enhance energy storage capacities for everything from electric vehicles to grid-scale energy storage, facilitating the transition to cleaner, renewable energy sources. Biochemistry has also seen numerous new discoveries that have advanced our understanding of life itself. But like recent research into the human genome has led to remarkable advancements in personalized medicine. Chemists and biologists have unlocked much of the genetic code, and new techniques like CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing have made it possible to modify DNA with precision, opening doors for the treatment of genetic disorders and diseases. And the potential for using chemical techniques to manipulate and edit genes marks one of the most revolutionary aspects of modern chemistry, with far-reaching implications for healthcare, agriculture, and biotechnology. Furthermore, green chemistry has led to the discovery of new processes that minimize environmental impact and improve the efficiency of chemical reactions. For instance, catalysis has become a cornerstone of sustainable chemistry, allowing for reactions to occur more efficiently and with fewer harmful byproducts. Discoveries in the field of enzyme catalysis and the use of biocatalysts to replace traditional synthetic processes offer promising alternatives for manufacturing chemicals in a more sustainable manner, decreasing energy usage and toxic waste generation. New discoveries in chemistry continuously reshape our understanding of the natural world, leading to innovative breakthroughs that have profound implications for various fields such as medicine, environmental science, energy, and materials science. These discoveries emerge through rigorous experimentation, observation, and collaboration within the scientific community. Whether in the form of new compounds, chemical reactions, or entirely new concepts, such discoveries are critical to pushing the boundaries of what we know and fostering progress in numerous industries. One of the most significant sources of new discoveries in chemistry comes from advancements in analytical techniques. As scientists develop more precise and sophisticated instruments, they can identify previously unknown substances and investigate chemical reactions in greater detail. The invention of techniques such as mass spectrometry, nuclear magnetic resonance, NMR spectroscopy, and high-performance liquid chromatography, HPLC, has made it possible to analyze complex mixtures, uncover new compounds, and identify trace amounts of chemicals that were previously undetectable. These tools have led to the discovery of novel molecules and the identification of their potential uses in drug development, environmental remediation, and more. A notable example of this is the discovery of new chemical elements. For example, the synthesis of elements beyond uranium, such as nihonium, moscovium, tennessine, and oganesson, has opened new areas of research in nuclear chemistry. These elements, known as super-heavy elements, are unstable and exist only for brief moments before decaying into other elements. Yet their creation has expanded our understanding of atomic structure and the forces that govern matter. Research in this area is still ongoing, and each discovery leads to a better understanding of the fundamental nature of matter and how elements interact on a subatomic level. Another exciting area of discovery involves new materials and their applications. Chemists continually search for innovative materials with unique properties that can revolutionize technology. The discovery of graphene, a single layer of carbon atoms arranged in a two-dimensional lattice, is one of the most groundbreaking material discoveries in recent years. Graphene possesses extraordinary strength, electrical conductivity, and flexibility, making it a promising candidate for a wide range of applications, from high-performance batteries to medical devices, electronics, and even advanced filtration systems. Similarly, other nanomaterials and carbon-based materials continue to offer novel solutions to problems in energy storage, environmental cleanup, and even food production. In the pharmaceutical and medical fields, new chemical discoveries often lead to the development of life-saving drugs and therapies. For instance, the discovery of penicillin in 1928 revolutionized medicine by providing an effective treatment for bacterial infections. In more recent times, immunotherapy has emerged as a groundbreaking treatment for cancer. These discoveries stem from a deep understanding of biochemistry and the ability to manipulate molecules for therapeutic purposes. Advances in drug delivery systems, where nanoparticles or other chemical carriers are used to deliver drugs more efficiently to targeted areas in the body, represent a significant leap in medical chemistry. Such discoveries hold the promise of more effective treatments with fewer side effects, ultimately transforming the way we approach healthcare. The sustainable chemistry movement is also driving a wave of new discoveries, particularly those focused on addressing environmental challenges. Chemists are working on finding new ways to reduce waste, recycle materials, and create eco-friendly products. For example, the development of bio-based plastics and green solvents aims to reduce the environmental impact of traditional petroleum-based chemicals. Additionally, researchers are discovering new methods for carbon capture and storage, CCS, to mitigate the effects of climate change by capturing carbon dioxide emissions and storing them underground or using them in chemical processes. Such innovations represent key advancements in efforts to create a more sustainable future. One area where new discoveries are particularly impactful is energy production and storage. As the world shifts toward renewable energy sources, chemistry plays a crucial role in developing more efficient ways to harness, store, and use energy. The discovery of more efficient solar cells, including organic and perovskite solar cells, is helping to make solar energy a more viable option for global energy needs. In parallel, advances in battery technology, such as the development of lithium-sulfur batteries or solid-state batteries, promise to enhance energy storage capacities for everything from electric vehicles to grid-scale energy storage, facilitating the transition to cleaner, renewable energy sources. Biochemistry has also seen numerous new discoveries that have advanced our understanding of life itself. Recent research into the human genome has led to remarkable advancements in personalized medicine. Chemists and biologists have unlocked much of the genetic code, and new techniques like CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing have made it possible to modify DNA with precision, opening doors for the treatment of genetic disorders and diseases. The potential for using chemical techniques to manipulate and edit genes marks one of the most revolutionary aspects of modern chemistry, with far-reaching implications for healthcare, agriculture, and biotechnology. Furthermore, green chemistry has led to the discovery of new processes that minimize environmental impact and improve the efficiency of chemical reactions. For instance, catalysis has become a cornerstone of sustainable chemistry, allowing for reactions to occur more efficiently and with fewer harmful byproducts. Discoveries in the field of enzyme catalysis and the use of biocatalysts to replace traditional synthetic processes offer promising alternatives for manufacturing chemicals in a more sustainable manner, decreasing energy usage and toxic waste generation. The impact of chemistry on industry is profound and multifaceted, with the field serving as the backbone of countless sectors, from pharmaceuticals and agriculture to energy and manufacturing. The ability to understand, manipulate, and create new chemical substances has led to innovations that have not only transformed industries, but have also shaped the modern world. Chemistry drives economic growth, enhances the quality of life, and helps solve many of the world's most pressing challenges, including climate change, public health, and resource management. One of the most significant impacts of chemistry on industry is in the pharmaceutical sector. The development of new drugs and therapeutic treatments relies heavily on chemical research and the synthesis of molecules with specific biological activities. Over the past century, advances in medicinal chemistry have led to the discovery of life-saving medications for conditions ranging from bacterial infections, such as penicillin, to chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. The creation of vaccines, including those for COVID-19, was possible due to the progress made in chemical and biotechnological research. Furthermore, the pharmaceutical industry heavily relies on chemical processes for the mass production of medications, making chemistry essential to drug discovery, formulation, and distribution. In the energy industry, chemistry has been instrumental in the development of more efficient, sustainable, and cleaner energy sources. Fossil fuels have long been the primary source of energy globally, but the chemical industry has played a central role in advancing alternative energy technologies. The production of solar panels, wind turbines, and batteries all involve complex chemical processes. For example, the creation of lithium-ion batteries, which power everything from smartphones to electric vehicles, is based on chemistry that allows for high energy storage and efficient charging. Moreover, the field of green chemistry has introduced sustainable practices such as the development of biofuels, hydrogen energy, and more environmentally friendly chemical processes, reducing the industry's dependence on carbon-intensive sources of energy. Agriculture is another sector heavily influenced by chemistry. The chemical industry has revolutionized farming by providing fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides that increase crop yield and reduce the impact of pests and diseases. Fertilizers, made through chemical processes, provide essential nutrients to crops, significantly boosting agricultural productivity and helping feed a growing global population. Additionally, advances in chemistry have led to the creation of genetically modified organisms, GMOs, which allow crops to thrive in challenging conditions, such as drought or soil deficiencies. However, the chemical industry also faces increasing scrutiny over its environmental impact, particularly in terms of pesticide use and pollution, leading to a growing interest in more sustainable and eco-friendly alternatives. In the manufacturing industry, chemistry is vital for the production of materials and chemicals that are essential to everyday life. Plastics, paints, adhesives, textiles, and metals are all the result of chemical processes that enable their creation, customization, and mass production. The widespread use of polymer chemistry, for example, has led to the invention of lightweight, durable materials that have applications in packaging, automotive manufacturing, medical devices, and electronics. The manufacturing industry also relies on chemistry for material science, as the development of new alloys, composites, and nanomaterials is crucial for the production of stronger, lighter, and more efficient materials used in everything from construction to aerospace. In the environmental industry, chemistry plays a critical role in addressing some of the most pressing global challenges, including pollution control, waste management, and resource conservation. Chemical processes are used in water treatment plants to purify water, making it safe for consumption and industrial use. Similarly, air filtration systems rely on chemical principles to remove harmful pollutants and ensure cleaner air. The recycling industry also benefits from advances in chemistry, as new methods for breaking down and repurposing materials, such as plastics and metals, reduce the need for raw materials and minimize waste. The development of carbon capture and storage (CCS) technologies, which trap carbon dioxide emissions from industrial processes, represents another example of how chemistry is helping mitigate the environmental impact of industries. Food production and processing is yet another sector where chemistry has a profound impact. The chemical industry enables the production of food additives, preservatives, and flavors, ensuring food safety, shelf life, and taste. Moreover, the development of food packaging materials that preserve food freshness and prevent contamination has its roots in chemical research. Innovations in food science, such as synthetic biology and food engineering, are also made possible through advances in chemistry. enabling the creation of new, more sustainable food sources, or the enhancement of food production methods to meet the demands of a growing global population. Textiles and fashion industries benefit from chemistry in various ways, particularly in the development of synthetic fibers and materials. The production of nylon, polyester, and spandex all rely on polymer chemistry, which allows the creation of versatile fabrics used in clothing, upholstery, and industrial applications. Advances in textile chemistry also enable innovations in fabric treatment, such as the development of water-resistant materials, or anti-wrinkle fabrics. As sustainability becomes a growing concern, the textile industry is also exploring more eco-friendly processes, including biodegradable fabrics and recycling technologies, driven by advancements in chemical research. In electronics and technology, chemistry plays a key role in the development of semiconductors, batteries, and display technologies. The design and manufacture of integrated circuits and microchips, which are at the heart of every modern electronic device, depend on sophisticated chemical processes. Similarly, the creation of smart materials and quantum dots has opened the door to new technologies in areas such as OLED displays, solar cells, and photovoltaic devices. In conclusion, chemistry's impact on industry is vast and continues to shape the world in which we live. Its applications are essential for product development, innovation, and problem-solving across virtually every sector. From improving public health through new medicines and therapies, to addressing environmental issues and advancing sustainable technologies, chemistry plays a central role in driving industrial progress and tackling global challenges. As research and technology continue to evolve, the potential for new chemical innovations to further transform industries and improve quality of life remains boundless.